It was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, my wedding day. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and I was walking down the aisle to marry the man of my dreams. But little did I know, my dreams were about to turn into a nightmare. As I stood at the altar, looking into my husband's eyes, I could sense something was off. He seemed distant, almost detached, but I brushed it off, chalking it up to pre-wedding jitters. However, as the ceremony progressed, I couldn't ignore the nagging feeling in the back of my mind. After we exchanged our vows and said I do, we made our way to the reception. The room was filled with laughter and chatter, but my husband's voice stood out among the rest. I overheard him talking to his friends, boasting about how lucky he was to have married me. But then, his words took a turn that I never expected. If not for her money, I would have never married her, he said, loud enough for me to hear. My heart sank, and a wave of humiliation washed over me. How could he say such a thing on our wedding day, in front of all our family and friends? I felt the eyes of the guests on me, judging me, pitying me. I could feel the tears welling up in my eyes, threatening to spill over. But I refused to let him see me cry. I refused to let him break me. Instead, I took a deep breath, plastered a smile on my face, and walked straight up to him. His friends fell silent as I stood before him, the tension thick in the air. "You think I married you for your money?" I asked, my voice steady despite my quivering heart. He stammered, caught off guard by my sudden confrontation. I I didn't mean it like that," he sputtered, but I wasn't buying it. "Well, let me show you just how much your money means to me," I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. And with that, I reached into my purse, pulled out my checkbook, and tore up the check I had written for the caterers. The room fell silent as the torn paper fluttered to the ground. My husband's eyes widened in shock, disbelief etched on his face. He never expected me to stand up to him, to challenge him in front of everyone. But I wasn't done yet. I turned to his friends, who were now watching the scene unfold with wide eyes. "And you," I said, pointing at each of them in turn. "You think I'm just a rich girl who got lucky? Well, let me tell you something. I may have money, but I have something far more valuable, self-respect, and I refuse to let any of you belittle me, especially not on my wedding day." With that, I turned on my heel and marched out of the reception hall, leaving my husband and his friends speechless in my wake. I may have been humiliated, but I refused to let it break me. I was strong, I was independent, and I would not be defined by anyone else's words.